Batman is in prison, captured by his own Ultimate Batman self. Batman created an Ultimate Batman persona known as Zur-En-Arrh. Zur-En-Arrh was to take over if Bruce Wayne was ever compromised, and he did. After an internal battle, Batman and Zur-En-Arrh finally separated, as Zur-En-Arrh moved his consciousness into a robotic Batman known as Failsafe, a version of Batman that has defeated the entire Justice League. Zur-En-Arrh then captured Batman, putting him into the Blackgate prison that he had created. Zur-En-Arrh then went back to Gotham and told everyone that he was the real Bruce Wayne who had downloaded his brain into the robot. The Bat family is confused as to what is actually going on, but Damian believes that Zur-En-Arrh is actually Batman. While this is going on, Bruce Wayne and the Joker are both captive at the bottom of Blackgate prison. Of Batgate prison. Which leads us to today's episode, Batman 146. This is Comicstorian. I take comic books, turn them into audio drama so that you know what's going on and what you can add to your collection. And if you enjoy this type of content, consider joining up for our Patreon or our YouTube memberships. Now let's get into the issue. Capito stands before the recaptured Bruce Wayne in the prison far beneath Blackgate Penitentiary. He smiles, highlighting the scars on his mouth that were given to him by the Joker, explaining that the Clown Prince of Crime was behind it all. Everything that has happened is because of the Joker. You see, everything that the Clown did over the years, every atrocity that he committed, was designed to draw out the purity of Batman's persona. But every time that Zur-En-Arrh came to the surface, he would retreat, and Bruce Wayne would take control once again. It was when Joker finally kidnapped Alfred that he learned of the truth. Zur-En-Arrh had created a failsafe program for if Batman ever went too far. A powerful robot that was designed to defeat him. But Alfred was supposed to shut down the robot if it was activated in error. Capito had been Joker's captive for some time when the clown revealed this information to him. If Zur indeed created a failsafe, this mistaken activation would undoubtedly bring Zur-En-Arrh out to try and stop it, possibly supplanting the main personality of Bruce Wayne once and for all, Capito had suggested. After Pennyworth's death, Joker made his move. He manipulated Penguin into wanting to get out of Gotham, to fake his own death and start over, to make the city believe that Batman had finally crossed the line. But Capito still wanted his freedom. He lied to the Joker and gave him a phrase that he thought would put Zur-En-Arrh to sleep. But the mentally implanted command phrase made Zur-En-Arrh protect Capito. The pure Dark Knight found him and freed him from Joker's cell. He finally put him in charge of the new prison in Blackgate. And now, here we are, Capito says with a smile. But Bruce glares at him. Don't make me laugh, Capito. You're here for the game. Joker and I are your sick experiments, and you want to see where this is all going to lead. Batman snaps at him, but Capito shakes his head, returning to his desk. Oh, I know where it's going to lead, and I can't wait for you to experience it all, he says as he activates Zur-En-Arrh's drones to return Bruce Wayne to his cell. He pulls a cowl out of his desk and slips it onto Bruce Wayne's head. Don't forget this. I know how much you rely on your secrets, and as your warden and therapist, I don't want to cause you any more trauma, Capito says with an evil smile. Meanwhile, back in Gotham City, Killer Croc is thrown out of a window. He bounces along the pavement, slamming into a parked taxi. Think you can take down Killer Croc? Wayland growls as he gets back to his feet, wiping the blood away. But Damian is already moving, punching the criminal one final time, bringing him down. Zur-En-Arrh picks up Killer Croc, bringing him towards the Batplane. But the pair are then stopped by Stephanie. Robin? She calls out, and Damian turns to her in surprise. What are you doing? This isn't Batman, you have to know that. She tries to reason with Damian, but Damian disagrees, shouting that the Bat family has always held his father back. Stephanie motions to the fearful citizens that are running away. Batman created fear in criminals. Can you really see your father doing this to everyone else? Zur-En-Arrh turns to her. I accept fear. It means that they're safe, he says in his robotic voice. Damian glares at Stephanie for a moment before turning and joining what he thinks is his father on the Batwing. Meanwhile, back at the clock tower, Barbara Gordon and Dick Grayson are speaking with the members of the League, explaining that they still don't know if the story that Bruce Wayne uploaded his mind into the failsafe robot is true. There's a very high chance that Bruce is in there, so what do we do? Barbara asks the powerful heroes. We see Wonder Woman and Superman on the monitors agreeing that this Batman is doing everything that Bruce wanted to do for years, taking full control of the justice system and even assigning those he arrests with court dates. Dick nods his head. Yeah, but this is different. It's Bruce with the power of failsafe, a robot that beat all of us. If we decide that he's crossed the line, how do we even stop him? Dick Grayson asks. And Superman looks at him with concern and doesn't have an answer. Back beneath Blackgate, Batman has returned to his cell with the Joker, where the clown is endlessly prattling away with jokes. But Batman isn't listening, realizing that without Zur-En-Arrh in his mind, he can peer inward and see the memories of what Zur did. The room darkens around him as he looks into Zur-En-Arrh's memories and sees him working on the drones. Batman's eyes flash open as he realizes he now knows their weakness. I created these drones. I can defeat them. Batman thinks to himself as he gets to his feet and begins to make his second escape. He rips a pipe off the wall, creating himself 2 fighting sticks. He pauses as he hears the elevator approaching and the door slides open to reveal 2 drones leading Punchline to his cell. Leave it to Gotham cops to hire robot fascists, Punchline snaps. But Batman releases smoke from his mechanical hand, drawing the drone's attention. It rushes forward, but Batman leaps out of the smoke, knocking it aside. He gets to it from behind, stabbing it through its main power source, dropping it to the ground. Punchline stares in shock, but her head then turns as the Joker calls to her. Oh, Punchline! How I've missed you! He calls as he waves from his bed, getting to his feet and walking out of the cell, untying her as she promises to get them out of there. Of course you will, but first we should have some fun, Joker says with a smile. Meanwhile, back at her apartment, Harley walks into her bedroom to find Bud and Lou unconscious on the floor. The window suddenly shatters inward and Harley reacts quickly, leaping for her bat as she whirls around on Zur-En-Arrh in surprise. What? Bats? You could have knocked! I'm practically a Justice Leaguer! She snaps as she leaps forward swinging her bat, but Zur-En-Arrh easily catches it, grabbing her by the throat. Harley, did you really think that I'd allow you to go unpunished for all of the lives that you helped end when you worked for the Joker? Zur-En-Arrh demands, and Harley gasps for air as she struggles. I'm a hero now. You said. She gasps, but Zur-En-Arrh shakes his head. That was then. This is now. Gotham has come to Gotham, he growls with his robotic voice, though Damian looks at him with a little bit of concern. Back in Blackgate, Batman continues to fight against another drone, knocking it to the ground. He breathes heavily, but turns as he sees Punchline release all of the cell doors. The doors slide open around him, and Batman at least knows that only the unpowered criminals are held here, so it gives him a bit of a chance. As the crowd begins to gather around him, he sighs, dropping into a fighting stance. Well, all right, let's do this, he says with a slight smile, but the criminals don't get a chance for a fight as the prison is suddenly filled with drones. The drones immediately try to quell the riot, so Batman uses that chaos to slip away, moving through the shadows of the prison until he can climb his way to freedom, unaware that Vandal Savage is following him out. As he gains access to the prison's roof, rain pours down as lightning flashes overhead. Batman knows that he has to do this alone. Zur-En-Arrh will be monitoring the others, that he has access to everything Batman had. Well, everything except Batman. With this final thought, Batman leaps off the roof into the bay, disappearing. Back in the bunker, Damian has started to investigate and is shocked to find an Amazo robot. Zur-En-Arrh stalks up behind him. I see that you've been exploring the new Bat Bunker while I dropped Punchline off, Zur-En-Arrh says. He explains that he is working on the Amazo bot so that he can build an army to control Gotham, so no one will die, he says, when suddenly the computer activates and the news reports of a riot at Blackgate. The comms in Zur's head activate and Capetillo comes on the line, informing him that Bruce Wayne has escaped. At that exact moment, a light flashes on the Bat computer, and Zur-En-Arrh turns to leave, informing Damian that he has to meet someone. Meanwhile, back at the mayor's office, Mayor Nakano is informed that an escapee from the prison is seeking asylum. A man named Savage, the assistant says, and Nakano collapses on his desk. That's who. It's happening, he whispers. Meanwhile, Superman and Zur-En-Arrh are meeting on a rooftop in the city. Superman finally confronts the robot, demanding to know if he's the real Bruce who uploaded his mind into the robot body. I know it's a lot to take in, but this has always been my plan. The failsafe for my aging body, for the eventual enemy that I could not withstand, Zur-En-Arrh says, explaining that this and the prison were necessary, that someone is moving in the shadows, setting things in motion. Dark forces are always at play here, pulling the strings. People will die unless I am at my best, Zur-En-Arrh says. Superman looks him up and down, wanting to know what happens if he goes too far. You'll try and stop me. You'll try, but you'll fail, because Batman always wins, Zur-En-Arrh tells him. Meanwhile, Bruce makes his way through the city as the rain is pouring down upon him. He slips into a truck, starting it, pointing the vehicle out of the city, leaving Gotham. And that concludes issue 146 of Batman and the Zur-En-Arrh saga. It's getting really interesting, but as I've said since the beginning, for me, it's all going to come down to how this whole entire plot lands. It could falter at the very ending for all we know, but so far, I am really enjoying this, and I hope you are as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time right here.